5 reasons why men pull away after getting close. In this video, you will discover what makes you push the buttons of a man after you already started dating him that makes him disappear and leave you desperate and alone. So if you are ready to know what that is for you and you're ready to attract a man who actually stays with you also through the honeymoon phase, then type below, I am ready. Hi, I'm Antia, founder and creator of the Magnetize Your Man method, and this is the channel where we magnetize your man so that the man you desire loves and wants you forever. Also, of course, if you like my background, if you like what I wear, my earrings, whatever it is, give it me a like, and of course, subscribe to my channel and share the video with all of your girlfriends. Now, also listen for a special bonus that you did not expect when it comes to like sending signals along the way that actually sabotage some really great relationship that started off with the right foot. So let's go into the 5 reasons why men pull away after getting close. Number 5, you gave him the wrong emotional resume. Okay, so let me actually break this down. So picture yourself, you're going on a date, and then what ends up happening is like somehow along the way, you send actually mixed signals. How do you do that? There's many different ways. For example, you laugh when something is actually not funny. You are sarcastic when you actually feel insecure. And then how do you think that ends up with a man? So the man may actually respond originally, right? Maybe like, okay, you know what I mean? Like, I'll go with that. But then ultimately, right? So he's getting close to you, but then ultimately it's going to fizzle out, right? He's actually going to seek distance. Another way how this happens is if you literally just hand him sort of like your own resume and it's really bland, right? So what I mean by that is you just go through the motions. So if you just communicate what's expected, just like, oh, hey, what's your career? What's your, where are you from? And where did you go to school? Everything that's sort of expected. Again, nothing wrong with that in the beginning, right? You may get close, but eventually it's gonna fizzle out. So make sure you don't hand him the wrong emotional resume. So first of all, comment below, ladies, if this has happened to you, if you have handed the wrong emotional resume, and you look right now, why does this man that was actually close now suddenly pull away? But guess what? This didn't just happen yesterday. This happened usually even on the first date when you started to send incongruent signals. Number 4 is you can't stay in tension. So if you are an anxious attachment style, a fearful avoidant attachment style, or anywhere in between, what ends up happening is that your nervous system is actually feeling comfortable when there's ups and there's downs, when you don't know if he's going to call you back, if there's uncertainty, right? If there is like almost like, oh, you pull on him, right? You're the one that initiates. There's something that feels safe about that. Now, what happens is when you actually attract a man into your life who's secure and grounded, what can happen is you feel a tension inside of yourself that you can't hold, because that tension is actually something new you have not experienced before. Great example here is when I met my husband, Brody, and I certainly had not experienced a man who not only told me the first night we met that I'm the girl of his story, but also followed up accordingly with actions. That was quite a shock to my nervous system. So sometimes when we enter a different country or different continent, we go through a culture shock. The same applies to your body and to your nervous system. it goes through a culture shock. And what happens is it wants to get rid of the tension. It doesn't want to be in that tension. It doesn't want to feel like there's something new in my life. And I feel it's sort of like free fall because I don't know how to categorize this particular person. I just know this person to be either a friend, right? Like a buddy, or it's someone who is like emotionally unavailable. But out of the sudden, I have like this incredible friendship, but I also have this passion with that. Just saying as an example. That would create tension inside of your system because I would not know what to do with that. So instead of growing your capacity for tension inside of yourself, so you can be with this new novel experience, you end up sabotaging it because you want to go back to what? Certainty. You want to go back to familiarity. You want to go back to your old ways of living. So I'd love to hear how that's going for you. If you're struggling with that and you're like, Antia, I have no way how to get out of this. This is a very complex concept, join our free Magnetize Your Man dating support group, where of course, like lots and lots of women, we have over 5,500 women in that thing. Okay, mymfbgroup.com, and you'll be surrounded by like-minded women, getting your questions answered, and so much more. Number 3 is a little bit more simple, straightforward. I like to not go with the straightforward ones, but I want to throw one in there, which is, of course, he's a dismissive avoidant attachment style. So look, like dismissive avoidant attachment styles, they come on strong, right? They love bomb you, they compliment you, they tell you you're the always wanted, never expected miracle, right? Like, and all the things, they future pace the heck out of you. And unfortunately, they can actually really track what makes you happy. But then when it comes to actually fulfilling that, following up on it, like, and actually having you rely on him committing to you, him telling you, you can count on me, he's out, right? So that's why in the beginning with a dismissive avoid, it can feel like you're getting so close and then it's just game over overnight, right? It he just disappears. And then he pulls away. And then you think you did something wrong, which with a dismissive avoidant, it's not true, right? Like by design, he will pull away because the closer he gets, the more it feels hot inside of his nervous system, right? And the more it feels hot, it feels like he's losing his identity. And of course, he can't risk that. So in order to quote unquote cool down, he will have to pull away to maintain his identity, his independence. So in this case, of course, don't waste your time, girlfriend. You're dealing with a very tough attachment style. And unless, because we're always talking, of course, a scale. So unless on the scale, he's more towards the secure, he's more towards being resourced, grounded, and actually can communicate intelligently what's going on inside of himself, you're in for a long haul of depression, sadness, anxiety, and hope that will never get fulfilled. I would move on. Now, of course, I want to hear below in the comment section if you have come across a dismissive avoidant and yet have blamed yourself. Now, this one is really big. Number 2, you get afraid that he leaves. This goes a little bit with not being able to be in attention, but not quite the same. So when you attract a man who you always wanted, this is, by the way, the 3rd stage of my Magnetize Your Man method, which is called the manifestation stage. In the manifestation stage, you actually attracted the right man into your life. Yay! Congratulations! So he calls you, he follows up with actions, he treats you like a queen, he respects you, and yes, he even has his own life and supports you as well. Now, this is sort of like too good to be true, When is the other shoe gonna drop? So those are examples of the internal dialogue that can occur inside of you when you all of a sudden have everything you always wanted to have. One thing I tell my clients when they come to me, when you attract the right man for you, you will know why you have not attracted him before. In other words, they were actually blocking themselves, or in that sense, actually guarding themselves from that fear that they could lose that person. Of course. So when you start to shift and out of a sudden you become fearful to lose that person, you start to act a little funny. You no longer really trust, or out of the sudden you become jealous, or you become possessive, or out of the sudden you become extremely anxious, even though in the beginning of the relationship, you were really grounded and confident and secure inside of yourself. Now, when that occurs, again, you have to know what to do and how to increase your capacity to feel safe to receive, which of course we're talking more about in my program. Now, if you want to know where am I standing with all of this, am I sabotaging myself or am I simply attracting the wrong man into my life, then get my free Magnetize Your Man quiz and of course some juicy custom gifts that I carefully curated for you, and hop on over to mymquiz.com. Number one, maybe a little straightforward or maybe total surprise, is the plateau effect. Now, what oftentimes happens is everything falls a little flat after a while. So it could be after a couple of weeks, could be after a couple of months, or sometimes even after a couple of days. What happens is you don't trust yourself. You're not open to source, to God, right? And you're actually getting into your head. And what happens is it becomes really one-dimensional. The man can't really feel your emotions. He can't really feel the impact your presence has on his nervous system. He can't really feel a shift of perspective, right? A shift of his own state. So nothing really grows, nothing evolves, nothing expands, and you hit this plateau. And what happens is it's boring. So if you don't know what are my other feminine archetypes, the man may not be called into his masculine archetypes, okay, which you of course do with your feminine archetypes, what can occur is hitting that plateau rather early on, and the man could actually be like, well, there's not much more to her, or what could also happen is you don't want to go deep. So you keep yourself on the surface. You keep everything kind of funny, or you keep everything as a joke, or right, but you just like not going deeper. You're not sharing something from yourself. So you're constantly sort of protection and guarded mode. Eventually, at first, if he really likes you, he will make attempts because he wants this to work out. But eventually, he will like pull away because it's like, you know what? This is way too much effort. I don't know who this woman really is. So I'm just gonna pull away and see what else is around. So I'd love to hear from you. Which of these reasons are eye-opening to you and you have never considered, and you have maybe just looked at the guy? Of course, for those of you who stayed until the very end, here is, of course, my bonus secret, which is in this case, you are moving too fast. So this is in a way, okay, so girlfriend, this is actually good news because when you move too fast, you can adjust, okay? So what happens is when you are more on the anxious attachment style scale, and so what that means is like you want to know, okay, when does he commit to me? When is he going to propose to me? When is he, right? So there's this constant, like, let's go. Like you can't get there fast enough because you have this hunger for approval. And that, of course, feeds then your self-esteem, which is, by the way, external self-esteem versus internal self-esteem. So it's not really sustainable, right? And then also, it, of course, feeds the codependence as well, right? So the more you focus on him, the more he gives you, right? And so on. So you never learn how to source yourself. You go too fast. You go too fast, right? Like you go intimately too fast, physically too fast, emotionally too fast, like confessing your emotions early on, all those things. And at some point, a relationship consists of two parts. There is, of course, the connection part or the closeness. And then there is also the space. And so what happens is if you go really fast, again, nothing wrong with that, just get prepared that there will be a time where one or two of you will actually pull away to create space. Now, this does not mean it's over. It doesn't mean he doesn't like you. Again, it just means, hello, I want to find my own equilibrium within this relationship. I want to actually identify what is the interdependence of our relationship. What is the homeostasis that works for both of us. Now, what normally happens when a woman is more anxious, she's taking this personally and it becomes this downward spiral and she becomes more needy and she wants to have more closeness and she wants to have more intimacy and she wants to have more approval and she wants to have more security. And that, of course, then ultimately, not right away, chases the man away. So in the moments when you feel, wow, it went a little too fast, what you want to do instead is you want to learn how to source yourself and then let the man come back to you. And you know what? 9 out of 10 times, he will come back to you. So that's really the good news, right? So again, if you like this video, hit my subscribe button and of course that bell right above here. And of course, comment below and share with all of your girlfriends. Now, if you haven't watched this video already, up next is the 5 real reasons why men respond to distance in love. Ladies, this is it for today. Much love to you, and I will talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.